Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Tarot. Today is January 12th, Sunday, 2025. January 12th, Sunday, 2025. So, before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you, gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. Alright, so my last video was like a day or two ago or something like that. Like about a day ago. So, because I didn't post yesterday. So, you know what? I had a dream yesterday. It was actually very interesting. So, I had a dream yesterday. I'm only going to talk about like the one snippet, like only the one part of the dream, right? Because the dream was like on and on and on, one thing after another. But so I'm just going to talk about this one tiny thing. So, okay, so in the dream, right, I was like, it was so interesting. I was inside of a library, right? Like I'm always in a library, but this library, it felt official. Like it just felt like the library of libraries, not like a little rinky-dink town library. It felt like a very prestigious library that was like official, that like you're only in that library to look up important information. That's like, I don't know, like it felt like a law library or something, like a Library of Congress or something like that. I don't know. That's what it felt like, right? It just felt like a very prestigious library. And I was in there doing research and reading and blah, 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 whatever. And in the dream, right? Because I was also with like a person in my dream, right? I was with a person. And I was having a conversation with this person as I was like doing my research or whatever. And it was basically like how it was the person was helping me do my research and stuff like that, right? So whatever. And I guess I must have been in that library for a very, very, very long time, because after a while there were two people at the entrance, right? And I guess they were like checking to see who was allowed inside the library or not, right? And I remember I was looking at the door, and there were two people, and they were talking to someone. And the person that they were talking to is because they wanted to go inside of the library. The person was looking for me. It was a priest. There was a priest, right? And it wasn't just any priest. It was the priest from the show Evil. Oh, he is so handsome. It was a priest from the show Evil. It was him. And he popped up in my dream, right? But that priest went into the library, but he got stopped, right? And they're like, oh, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm here to get her because it's time for her to go back to class. It's time for her to go back to class. And I saw him, and he saw me, and I saw him, and like we both know, like and he's pointing at his watch. He's like, it's time to go, let's go. And I don't know, like I was like, but I want to keep reading. It was like that, like I want to keep reading. He was like, all right, come on, like you've been here long enough, let's go. So that was a very interesting dream. By the way, that particular priest in that show Evil, the first two seasons, so there's like multiple stories going on in the show, but the first two seasons of that show, there's 3 seasons on Netflix, check it out. The first 2 seasons, when it comes to his story, it's about him, his journey into becoming a priest. Like in the first 2 seasons, he isn't a priest yet. In the 3rd season, he becomes a priest. Spoiler. But so the first 2 seasons are him like he's already there, but like he's still like making sure, like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing, kind of thing, right? But it's a really good show. It's a really great character. The show is really good. Obviously, it's not something to watch around younger audiences, so keep that in mind. It's explicit, a lot of dark themes, but it's a very good show. I would. Why are my cards like this? I would suggest checking it out if you're into like biblical my confusion, right? Figuring things out. So, but it's a good show. Oh, what was that? What did it just come out? In the ninth house. The ninth house. That is Sagittarius. This just literally fell out. There's something that's happening right now as if it or they came from all there is, the philosophies and laws involved. Dude, in a big way. That's what it says. The philosophy and laws involved. And I was just talking about how, like, it could have been like a library of like laws or something like that, right? But there's something that's happening right now, right? You see the philosophies and laws involved. So that is Sagittarius. So there could be something about ethical, something about morals and ethics, but when it comes to lawful morals, lawful ethics, like, do your morals align with a just law? Do your ethics, like, your ethics is basically like, if you're gonna do something and put work into something, is it like for the benefit, like the good? Let me look this up. I'm getting like moral justice. Like, you could have like a just compass. You could be a righteous person. Integrity, moral principles, honesty, right, fairness, responsibility, choice, conscience, honor, value. Yeah, the term ethics may refer to the philosophical study of the concepts of moral right and wrong and moral good, bad. To any philosophical theory of what is morally right or wrong or morally good and bad. And to any system or code of moral rules, principles, or values. Yeah, like a code of ethics, right? Like, pirates have a code of ethics that they abide by. Nurses has a code of ethics that they abide by, right? Even thieves have, their own, it's just something about ethics. But 727, it's just something about like it being just, like right? So the ninth house, right? That's also like Sagittarius energy. Centaurs, they're very, very big, very, very big. I mean, very, very big on their freedom. So you could be studying up on your freedom or studying up on something that like reading between the lines or the fine print or something about contracts. Something you could be realizing that something was done unjust to you, or there are people that are realizing, or someone is helping you come to a conclusion, or someone could be helping you like lead you to, like, or I'm getting like someone could be like sending you something in the mail. Oh, you know what I just saw in my head? You know how like in those old TV shows and movies, like, like those ransom notes where someone sends someone a ransom note like, bring back my puppy or whatever, right? Give me $20 and I bring back your puppy or whatever. But the way they do it is like they cut out letters from like magazines and newspapers so you don't know who it's from. There's something like that. Like, you're gonna get an anonymous letter. Okay, you know what else I just saw? It's actually, okay, it's not. I mean, it's funny, but it's not. In Jersey Shore, there's a show called Jersey Shore, right? And I think it's the first season when Ronnie was like cheating on Sam and going all over the place, blah, blah. But Snooki and Jenny, they kind of joined together. They went to like an internet cafe and wrote like an anonymous letter about everything that Ronnie was doing to Sam, right? And so they printed it out and then they somehow like sent it to Sam, and it was like a huge thing. But then Sam found out that there was those two because she was like, who wrote the letter? Used to. It was so funny. But yeah, so it's something like that. Like, you're gonna get like an anonymous letter or like a something, but it's gonna help you. You're going to realize that something was done very unjust or ethically. And the thing is, even though Sam in the show Jersey Shore, Even though she got this anonymous letter about everything that was done to her, everything bad that was done to her, right? She got mad at the messenger. So there could be something there as well. Like, you might get a letter in the mail, like an anonymous letter, anonymous phone call, anonymous text, something anonymously. Because whoever is sending it to you, it's like they want you to know, but they also don't want to, like, be involved. But they're still going to get involved, right? Because they feel like you should know. So I feel like in this situation, but the whole point of this is for you to be free from this unjust thing that was done to you. That's the whole point. But I feel like you need to be careful not to get sidetracked, not to get mad at the messenger, because what the messenger, I mean, yeah, it was kind of like cowardly how they did it, instead of just telling her like, hey, blah, 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 right? But what Sam did in the show Jersey Shore, she got mad at the messengers instead of like, you know, it's like, instead of like, oh, that's my business, blah, 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 like, thank you for telling me, and blah, 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 like, because she still wanted to, like, be in the situation. So she got mad at the messenger, right? Instead of, like, realizing that, like, no matter how she got the message, but it's, like, for her freedom, right? So she could realize that, oh, there was something that was being done to me that's unjust. I should leave. And she ended up being in that situation for, like, years. Like, years and years and years. So, but yeah, centaurs are very, very big on freedom. So you could be getting some information, and this information is going to catapult you into doing some research, right? I feel like somebody was trying to do something, trying to use a loophole, but there was something off about that loophole, or like what they thought was a loophole wasn't actually a loophole, and it was actually very illegal, morally unethical, unjust. And someone wants you to know about this. Someone wants you to find out, like, and you're gonna find out about this. You're gonna know about this. As if it or they came from all there is, the philosophies of and laws involved do it in a big way. This is something that's going to be very big for you, life-changing in a way. For some of you, it could involve a large sum of money. But whatever this is going to have a great impact on your life, your well-being. But it's kind of like you're going to have to get the bad news first in order to get the good news. And in this situation, you're going to get some bad news first, but what comes after that, what follows, is some good news. And unfortunately, it sucks that you have to get the good news because of bad news, something bad that happened. But unfortunately, that's what the situation is, right? So, as if it or they came from all there is. So I feel like as if it or they, the it or they, that's like guidance, that's like help, like spiritual help, spiritual guidance came from all there is. That's source, that's the most high, that's divine. So it's literally as if it or they, your spirits, your angels, your ancestors, spirits of the highest white light, came from all there is. So it's kind of like God has commanded, like God commanded something to be delivered to you, so you can't get mad at the messenger, which would be God. God is telling you something that, even though it might not be what you want to hear, or it might not be good news or whatever, it's something that you need to hear, because what follows after that is going to be like a blessing, good news. And yes, it sucks that you have to hear it that way, but what happened after that? Sammy ended up finding her freedom. She ended up being happier and less stressed out, less miserable. And that show Evil, like, he was going through a period of like confusion and doubt, and like in his heart, like he just wanted to be a priest, like he just wanted to be closer to God. And even he had like skills and gifts, and being a priest is what truly fulfills him, right? So whatever this is, in that show, she had to leave an abusive ex, toxic relationship. And Evil, he just had to like separate himself from his doubts and confusion, right? I mean, I feel like it's all the same thing. It's just you're being delivered from something. Gosh. Yeah, I feel like you're like an anonymous letter or something. You cannot get mad at the messenger for what you're about to hear, what you're about to be told. I feel like a lot of you too, like you know enough now. You know enough, and it's time to. All right, like we gotta go. It's time. You know, like how, because it also kind of felt like now that I'm thinking about it too, there was also like a courtroom feel. You know how like in shows and movies when they're like in court and then they do like a recess, and so like the lawyers, they go back to like those libraries and research all those like past cases and blah blah blah, right? And then like after a certain amount of time they have to go back into the courtroom, right? There's something like that too. It's kind of like you have what you have. You have it. You have the evidence, the information. Like, it's time. It's time. My back was so itchy. Wow. Alright. Kipper. Yeah, I keep hearing it's like, because he kept doing this. He was like, "It's time. We gotta go. Come on, you've been here long enough. Let's go. It's time." It's so crazy because the thing I was researching in my dream, like I found out who, I found what, I knew the ins and outs, but for some reason I just wanted to stay in the library. Like I still wanted to read, but it was kind of like you got the who's, without the whens, the whys, you have all the details. Like, all right, and so we gotta go. Like, you don't need to be here anymore. Let's go. I also, because before that dream, I was having like another dream, and I kept saying the same thing over and over again. I kept saying, I'm not 16 anymore. I'm not 16 anymore. This isn't for me. I'm not 16 anymore. I kept saying that in my dream before I went to the library. So something could have happened when you were 16 years old, or something took place when you were 16 years old, or somebody did something when you were 16 years old. Privileged lady upright. Something could have been taken from you when you were 16 years old. There's something very important here about your freedom. You could be a privileged lady, divine feminine, or divine masculine. Take out resonances, you'll know, right? But something very important took place that had to do with your freedom. Someone could have tried to impede on your freedom, whether this is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial. It's like somebody did something morally unjust, ethically wrong to you that had to do with your freedom. This could even be like freedom, like as a woman. Honestly, I mean, would that be surprising, right? Like, go back in the kitchen, shit like that, like old school. You know, it wasn't until like what, 50 years ago. I could be wrong about that, but until like women could have their own bank accounts without having to be married. Like, I kid you not. Something like that. It could be like 50 years ago, or maybe 60 years ago, that women was legally allowed to open bank accounts, their own bank accounts, right? I mean, still to this day, there are women that, like, doctors will not give them. Still to this day, believe this or not, still to this day, there are doctors that will refuse to tie a woman's tubes because her husband might want to have children. That's crazy, right? That's what that, right? Like there are so many stories that women will be refused. Like, well, you might want to wait because what if your husband wants to have children? Yeah. So it could be like that, or there could just be someone tried to do something with your freedom, take it away, revoke it, deny you access to your own freedom. So because of something that happened when you were a teenager. Because I remember in that part of that dream, I was like, I don't need to be... I'm just going to be very, very vague about this because it's going to be a whole thing. In my dream, because I was looking around, I was like, I don't need to be here. I'm not 16 anymore. I can leave if I want. I don't need to be here. So I left. Like, this is... I can have my own space. I can have my own home. I can have my own car. I can have my own job. I can have my own life. It was so weird because it was almost as if, like, the idea was trying to be implemented in me that I had to be there. And usually, like, when you're a teenager, like, you don't really, like, you kind of have to follow the rules, right? But when you're an adult, it's like, wait a minute, I don't have to do that. Right? Like, I'm not a child anymore. I'm not a teenager. But it was specifically, I'm not 16 anymore. I don't want to be here. I don't need to be here. I'm not 16 anymore. And it was a very crowded environment as well. So, yeah. So I feel like, as if it or they came from all there is, there's something from 16 to today, from when you were 16 years old, if this resonates with you, to today. There is something like I hate to use this word, some big conspiracy around revolving your freedom, your sanity, your will, like your sound of mind, like, you know, like your sanity, right? All because this is your natural energy. You're a privileged lady. Somebody wanted to, like, take that away, so that way, but they had to, like, make it seem like, how do we, someone who is privileged, blessed, abundant, beautiful, whether you're a man or a woman, how can we make it so where we take away their freedom and we can indulge in their beauty, their youth, their abundance, their wealth, their blessings? How? You make them go crazy. You make them look crazy. You make them think they're crazy. That's how. Right? Like conservatorships. You want to control someone, you make them seem like they can't control themselves. That's how you do that. So I feel like for a lot of you, something like this was trying to take place or trying to happen, but spiritually. Right? Because a lot of you could be like, I don't have any money to be... But spiritually, you're abundant, you're wealthy, you're a vessel of source. Like just a pure light energy, ball of energy. Right? And somebody wanted to be able to, like, oh, you can't handle your own light. You can't handle your own abundance. You can't handle your own spiritual blessings. And if you can't handle it, I'm going to make it seem like you can't. Like, because I want it. I want that. So what do? You make a sane person seem insane. So I feel like for a lot of you, that was what was happening. And somebody knows about this, and they're going to tell you about this, and I feel like that's why the big blow up. And I feel like that's a distraction. Oh, I can't believe you were involved, and you guys tried to do this, but don't. That's the distraction, because it's kind of like you're putting so much energy into that truth, which, yes, it is a truth, and it sucks, but that's a distraction, because what follows after that is a massive amount of blessings, of freedom that you can never imagine. You think you're free now? Wait until this. But you have to, like, and it's gonna be like, if you watch that episode or like that season of Jersey Shore, right? It's like, it does seem very cowardly for them to do what they did, but like at the same time, they did it to mean her well. But there is a really, really, really big part that is so obvious that the biggest reason why they did that is because of drama. The chaos that it created, the drama, the poking their nose where it didn't belong kind of thing, right? Because it could have just been like, oh, that's not our business, we're not going to get involved, right? But they did. They chose to get involved. So if someone is choosing, now part of it is good intentions, because like, oh, they should know. They should know. But you really got to think about it, because like a big portion of whoever is telling you what they're going to tell you is because they want to incite drama. They want to revel in it. They want to create some chaos. And that can only happen if you have that reaction. Now, if they give you this note, this anonymous letter, this tip, this whatever, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, thanks for the information. I appreciate that. I mean, part of them's going to be like, oh, yeah, sure, you're welcome. But at the same time, they're going to be like, that's it? Like, you're not mad? You're not going to flip out? Like, where's the entertainment? That's what they want. They want a show. They want entertainment. They want to be like, yes. But that's not what you should be doing. Don't do that. Just be like, okay, thanks, whatever, right? Because all that energy that you're going to be, like, expelling from yourself, that's wasteful when you could just be using that energy for your abundance and your blessings. That's rightfully yours. I'm going to get 2 more, and then I'm going to change the ducks. No, I'm not doing that. We got coffin reverse, main male reverse. So there's a karmic masculine that was trying to put an end to you. It didn't happen. So for a lot of you, this could be a karmic masculine that was trying to do this. It could be an uncle, a father, a brother, a cousin, a neighbor, a family friend. Some masculine. It could be even a woman masquerading as a man, or a woman who doesn't know how to be a woman, but she comes off as a man, or very rough around the edges, or a woman who is jealous of you being a privileged lady, and when they look at her, they're just like, what up, bro? Right? So take it how it resonates. But this main male in reverse was trying to put an end to you. It did nothing. You're still here. What's yours is still going to be yours. This could be somebody around the same age as you, this main male in reverse. That's it. That's all I'm getting. That's blank. I'm getting Morse code. Alright, I guess I'm jumping into tarot. And then I'm going to switch it. This masculine could have a big head, or they could say, hey, big head. Either they could say, hey, big head, or they have a big head. Or like a big forehead. Or, I don't know. Or they just have a big ego. Empress, wow. Yeah, see, they were trying to put an end to this Empress privileged lady. Look. Empress, Jesus, my nails. Empress privileged lady. That's who they were trying to put an end to. It didn't work. They're really trying to make it seem like this Empress privileged lady who's like born to be an empress, a privileged lady. Like let's say you were born to have an inheritance, right? Someone was trying to make it seem like you can't handle that inheritance. You're too crazy to handle what's meant to be yours, right? So they conspired and conspired and conspired and conspired and gathered and gathered and gathered, and come to find out, like, that's not what happened at all. Like, you're perfectly fine. Somebody's gonna tell you, they're going to tell you that like somebody or like a group of people try to conspire against you to make it seem like you were crazy, so that way you can't sit in your own throne or sit in your own title, which is weird too, because if this is a masculine trying to sit in the throne of an empress, that is one lazy, jealous manipulative, bitchy man. That is a man trying to sit in the seat of a woman. That's crazy. A man was trying to sit in the throne of an empress, a privileged lady. For some of you, this is a man that was jealous of a woman. I always say a jealous woman has nothing on a jealous man. A jealous woman against a jealous woman, whatever. A jealous man, jealous of a woman, that's a whole nother level of like, that's like a narcissist. Like, they could even be low-key gay or on the down low. They could secretly want to be a woman themselves. And I'm just being very upfront about it because at this point, it really does, I don't care. All right? Because why else would you be so jealous of a woman? It's because you think women have it easier. You want to be a woman. This is a man that says, if I was a woman for a day, why? But then they would be like, if I was a woman for a day, I would use my body and my looks to get what I want. That's why they're jealous, because they have to, they're not like that delicate flower. Like, I'm not saying like some, like, okay, like in Gaston, Beauty and the Beast, there are women that flock to him, right? But why? Because he's masculine, he's brawny, he's bulky, he's like very manly, right? And so he has those traits that most women go after. This is not that man. Not only does this man not want to like be like a healthy masculine, but he's also very lazy and feel like women have it easy. So if you don't want to be a man and you're jealous of a woman, is because you want to be a woman. Just keep it a buck. Like, that's why. That's what this is. So for some of you, there could have been like a man around you and your family, an ex of yours, a neighbor that was jealous of you, a man, simply because you're a woman. Honestly, on a bigger scale, this could just be men. Men like this are jealous of the power, the true divine feminine power. That's it. But for some of you, this is just a man who was in your family or an ex of yours or ex-friend, ex-neighbor. This could even be someone current in your life now that's jealous because you know how to operate as a divine feminine and they're stuck in karmic masculine energy. And they're jealous of that. They want to sit on your throne and be an empress. But this is a man. I'm not talking about trans or anything like that either, alright? This is a straight man who wants to sit in a woman's place but still be a straight man. And that's where you're all confused and messed up in the head because they don't know, like, I'm probably gonna get some hate for this video, but at this point, I don't really, nothing's coming out. I gotta switch. I think I saw the High Priestess when I flipped. The High Priestess and the Six of Pentacles reversed. So somebody wanted to take something away from you, or they felt like it was unfair that not only are you the High Priestess who knows what they know, but you're this Empress and a privileged lady. So you're like a triple threat. So you're intuitive. I'm getting like White Witch energy. You're intuitive, you're tapped in, you're privileged, and you're an Empress. And this man is like, or these men, it's just like, hey, it's not fair. And it's just like, instead of being a man trying to compete with a woman, why don't you do what you got to do so that way you don't have to feel inferior or intimidated or jealous. These are men, or this is a man jealous of a woman just because she's a woman. But it's like, if you were a divine masculine, or if you weren't so karmic, you too would realize that you have a purpose and a place and a point as well. But you may not see that, you may not feel that, you may not think that because you're a karmic masculine. That's why you don't see your purpose, your point, or your place. It's weird because sometimes, we got Three of Pentacles reversed. Men like this would prey on little girls and see their potential, their worth before those little girls even grow up to be like, I want to be this. You got to be careful around grown men when it comes to little girls, right? And I know that's triggered. I should put a trigger warning on this video, actually. I think I'm going to do that. Because, that's why, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen to little boys either, because it does, but it's like, all right, let me move on. We got the Three of Pentacles reversed. People are not collaborating with this person. People don't want to be around this person. People don't want to work with this person. There could also be questioning, why are you so obsessed with ending something for divine feminines, or this divine feminine, or this person? It's like they're questioning this person, this masculine. Like, why are you so obsessed with putting an ending to divine feminine? Because it's like, it's nothing is working. It's not happening. With Coffin in reverse, it's not. Nothing that they're doing is working. I'm also getting that whatever knowledge, whatever information that they've learned or gathered throughout the years, or that they've been told to, if you do this, it'll work. If you do this, it'll work. It did not work. Coffin reverse. It's like they got the wrong information, whether deliberately, purposely, accidentally, whatever it was, but the information that they swore up and down was going to put an end to you, it did not work. And it could be as simple magic as gossip, and you'd be so surprised how many men gossip more than women. You think women love to gossip? Absolutely, yes, absolutely. But men, you would be surprised how men, I've witnessed this time and time again, there are more men that gossip like women. Men gossip? Oh, yes. Yes, they do. Gossip is not gender specific. Gossip is for everybody. But the reason why, like, you don't really think about men gossiping is because men are the ones that are always saying, women gossip, women love to gossip, women are this, women... So, but... Listen, I've met some real gossipy bitches, but in men. Nothing is coming out. I don't think I gotta switch now. The letter C. Could be somebody's first, last, middle, initial name of a word or a place. I'm getting cash. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Cash money. Cha-ching, cha-ching. So you're going to be getting a lot of cash flow. Finances. I mean, you are the Empress Purpose Lady, so that literally is like your divine right. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Cash flow. The Most High is watching. I told you. Because it says, as if it or they came from all there is. It or they, your team, your spiritual ancestors, spiritual high spot light, divine angels, blah, blah, blah. God commanded them. God's like, all right, it's time. Like, she's where she needs to be, or he's where he needs to be. Now it's time for you to do what you got to do, because now things are flowing, and it's time. It's time. God was watching the entire time. What time is it? Speaking of time... I gotta start dinner in like an hour. Ex-husband or boyfriend. So for some of you, this could have been your ex-husband or your ex-boyfriend. Man, the stories that I could tell. Whew. Alright, so this could have been the karmic masculine. Neptune's warning. Man, this person, they just whatever they were trying to build, they were trying to, I'm going to read this card in a second. This, for some of you, it could be an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife. So you would have to take that how that resonates, all right? The card did came out as ex-boyfriend or ex-husband, all right? But let me just say this. This person, what they tried to do was build a foundation off of your back. But they had to say the only way that they can build a foundation off of your back is if they had to discredit you. If they discredit you, whatever come out your mouth, whatever truth, whatever your story is, wow, she really is crazy. Wow, he really is insane. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you have to deal with that. I can't believe you have to deal with him. I can't believe you have to deal with her. Right? So it's kind of like a preemptive strike. Trying to discredit you, make you seem insane, blah, 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 blah. Right? However, that did not work out. Because God's not going to let that happen. Basically, this person tried to build a foundation for themselves, a reputation for themselves, by making you seem crazy. They tried to discredit you. But of course, that's not going to happen because now the celestial bodies, again, God commanded it to be. It's time. Everybody, Group A, do this. Group B, right? Neptune, Mars, right? Neptune's warning. If you put your faith only in the world of your senses, you will always know a hunger that cannot be satisfied. As the ocean dissolves As the ocean dissolves the beach beneath your feet, I will show you that your fine castles and all inside them are made of sand. They try to build a false foundation. It had to do with their reputation because I keep getting that word in my head, but every time I try to get to that, I keep getting distracted. It was about their reputation. They try to build a positive, uplifting reputation, a foundation for themselves, but by discredit. You had to be discredited. That was very important. That was vital. That is very, very vital. Why? Because at the end of the day, they don't want to be seen as a man jealous of a woman. They don't want to be seen as a man wanting to sit in a woman's position. That's why. But if you seem crazy, oh, why would he be jealous of a woman? Why would he's a man. And this is a very gossipy man. This man talks and talks and talks and talks and talk and talk. This man is very gossipy and very talky. You would think, like, are you sure you're not a woman? Again, this is nothing about trans. That's a whole different thing, right? I'm not saying that. This is a man who is straight, wants to be straight, but wants to have the power of a woman. That's not for you. The power of a woman is for a woman. The power of a man is for a man. Right? This is a whole... And there are people that know about the things that this man has said, the things that this man has done. And someone is going to tell you this. They're going to tell you this. Right? And there's a big part of you that you should be grateful. Absolutely. Because yes, now you know. Right? But at the same time, be very careful because there is another underlining intention behind that, which is they want a show. They want a reaction. They want entertainment. I can't believe he did this. I can't believe she said that. They want that. They want that reaction. They want the show. They want the entertainment. Because even though listen, I just wanted to tell you this. At the same time, they're just like, popcorn ready, drinks ready. Let's watch the show. That's, So, don't be blowing up and none of that, whatever, because just take the message, okay, thanks, and then go on about your business, because that is not really, like, you're going to get your blessings no matter what. You're going to get your justice, you're going to get your reputation, you're going to get what's corrected, it's going to be corrected, balanced, and justified, and everything's going to be in order, blah, 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 right? So you don't need to be hooting and hollering like a maniac. She's a maniac on the floor. So yeah, this person could have been trying to say that you're crazy. You know what? It really has to do with like a preemptive strike, right? So you could know something about this person, or you could have known something about this person, and it says ex-boyfriend or ex-husband. So for some of you, it's an ex-girlfriend or ex-wife. So this ex of yours, they're like, oh, let me ruin their reputation and discredit them before they can say the truth about me. That's what this is. That's plain and simple. 444. That's what this is. And that's when God was like, hold up. Not my protected child, because that's 444, and I just saw 4411. Not my protective child. All right, so this guy, this karmic masculine or karmic feminine, God's like, you want to play? Let the games begin, because now I'm really about to show you what the Most High can do when it comes to, his protected children. This man was very ill prepared. Very ill prepared. And on top of that, this is a man who wants the power of a woman, right there, you should have known that wasn't going to go very far because you don't even know your place as a man, right? Like, and again, I'm not talking about trans because if you're a man and you want to be a woman, that's who you truly believe that you are, then that's who you truly believe you are. But that's not what this is. This could even be about a woman wanting to be the power of a man, and you're a woman. But in this situation, this is a man who wants to be straight, loves women, but wants the power of women. And that's where it's like, do you not know your place as a man, your point, your purpose as a man, your position as a man? You don't. So it's kind of like this is a man trying to knock down an empress from an empress's position so that way he could be the empress. And that's God's like, you must be out your mind. All right. So I think I'm going to end the reading here. This is the reading. Bye.